Sweet moment. Princess Charlotte tells Prince George, "You need to bow to their beloved Gan Gan." The Princess of Wales and her children this morning joined Prince William, King Charles III, and other senior royals to pay their respects to Her Majesty alongside 2,000 other mourners, including visiting monarchs, heads of state, and all living British prime ministers. The 7 and 9-year-old royals joined Prince William and Kate, Princess of Wales, at the Queen's funeral at Westminster Abbey on Monday. In particular, Princess Charlotte has melted hearts after reminding her brother, Prince George, that he needs to bow. After the funeral service, when Her Majesty's coffin left the Abbey to start its final journey out of London to Windsor, Charlotte appears very brave and even passes on some wisdom to her older brother, George, telling him how to bow as their great-grandmother's coffin passed them. The older child seemed to take his sister's instruction and lowered his head as the monarch's coffin passed him. Princess Charlotte and her brother, Prince George, bid farewell to their beloved Gan Gan as the youngest members of the royal family to follow the Queen's coffin through Westminster Abbey. Royal fans took to Twitter to praise the royal pair for their bravery, while others said that they had been in tears watching the pair walk behind their beloved great-grandmother's coffin. Twitter users gushed over Charlotte, saying, "Charlotte telling George he needs to bow is just gorgeous. She was definitely born to be a little princess." Another user added, "I'm pleased they have each other to lean on for support and will look back on this in future glad they took part in it together." George and Charlotte were solemn and impeccably behaved during the funeral. The only daughter of the Prince and Princess of Wales is said to share the Queen's love of horses, and the brooch was reportedly a gift from her late great-grandmother. Princess Charlotte cried after the Queen's emotional funeral in a heartbreaking moment. The 7-year-old royal wiped her tears and was comforted by mom, Kate Middleton, after saying goodbye to her beloved great-grandmother. It wasn't known if the young royals would be at the funeral, but it is understood the new Prince and Princess of Wales decided it was important for them to be there. George was dressed in a dark navy suit and tie, while Charlotte wore a black coat dress with pleats at the back and a small silver horseshoe pinned on the front, black tights, and a hat with a ribbon tied at the back. George was pictured singing "The Day Thou Gavest, Lord, is Ended" as he stood between his parents. Charlotte could be seen looking from under the brim of her hat while the mourners sang "The Lord is my shepherd." During the Archbishop of Canterbury's sermon, George read the order of service while Sister Charlotte was seen whispering to her mother. The second and third in line to the throne are also expected to be at the committal service in St. George's Chapel, Windsor Castle, afterwards. Their 4-year-old brother, Prince Louis, was not present. He's likely to be considered too young to attend. During a royal walkabout last week, the former Duchess of Cambridge shared about how her children were coping with the news of the Queen's death, saying they've all been extraordinary. George had a better understanding of his great-grandmother's passing. Quote, "I was really sad when I found out, and Louis said, 'Mummy, don't worry, because now Gan Gan is with great-grandpa.'" George, Charlotte, and Louis were brought to many events celebrating the Queen's Platinum Jubilee in June, delighting royal fans. It was claimed that the Queen enjoyed a close relationship with George and Charlotte, who referred to her as Gan Gan. Her Majesty nodded to their births in their Christmas speeches in 2013 and 2015, respectively. For the new parents, life will never quite be the same again, she announced following George's arrival, while she happily celebrated Charlotte joining the family a few years later. One of the joys of living a long life is watching one's children, then grandchildren, then great-grandchildren help decorate the Christmas tree. And this year, my family has a new member to join the fun.